2, 1, and live. Good morning. It's funny that it takes it a moment or so for it to catch up to the whole process. So I was at the shop yesterday, or at least I guess I pretended to be at the shop, because from 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock, I was supposed to drive down, work, drive back. And it seems like I did everything but. Had to run to the apartment. Good news on that front. They're actually starting to work, which is fantastic. Oh my goodness. So hopefully that gets resolved pretty quickly. Had to run to the drugstore. Then I had to drive from Peckville up to the shop itself, and work there. I ended up making a bone folder. I'll show that off in a few minutes. Ooh, good thumbnail today. Finally, I think I'm getting the hang of that. 36 in, I better be getting the hang of it. And I did a couple trades with people, and I did some work. Then I went, time was starting to run out. So I ran up to, I tried to go to Joann Fabrics to buy a sewing machine, and they were out. So I tried to go over to Walmart, and they were out. No one has any sewing machines. I don't understand why there are no sewing machines. I mean, I do understand, but at the same time, like, come on. So it's going to take me a few extra minutes to make the masks. But what can you expect? Everyone's buying everything. So I have my coffee, and I bought some more carrot cake Oreos. These things are fantastic, let me tell you. I should be getting like a sponsorship or something from Oreo for this, but I'm not. I actually like these a little bit better than the regular Oreos because the cookie part is harder, stiffer. It's more like a biscuit. And there's almost no cream in them. Almost no cream, which I like. I know that's a very unpopular opinion and an unpopular thing to say, but I don't like the double stuffed Oreos and the triple stuff and the maximum stuffed or whatever it is. No. I think most Oreos come with too much stuffing in them. I mean, maybe that's just my own strange opinion. These also have internal texture to them. I'm not sure what that is. Probably like chunks of carrot or something that's baked in there. Actually, I think I see a couple chunks, like carrot chunks. So, I don't know. I really like them though. They're just so different than all the other Oreos that it's tasty. Oh, I shared this everywhere but Twitter. Let's write a little tweedly deet. 36 episodes of this. Fantastic. Honestly, I can't believe I've done 36 of these things. Though, I mean, truth be told, a lot of people listen to podcasters and vloggers and stuff, and a lot of people do live streams. So I can see why. I can see the popularity. It's very easy content to make. I just kind of sit down, turn on the camera, make sure everything's not screwed up, because that happens a lot. And then I just kind of blather for an hour. On Saturdays, I make something and toss it out into the world, which is kind of a strange concept. But it seems to be working pretty well. I mean, if you can't see my screen, but I can see my screen. And I can go on here and look at my analytics. And go to Studio. And it is quite interesting what's been happening. And I mean, I know a lot of it's, from engagement and people talking and stuff, which, by the way, is so cool that people are able to sit down and just chat with me and do all this all in real time for the whole world to see. It's kind of interesting. But at the same time, it's like, wow. I'm also making like a video a day. I was getting at least 1 hour. Usually it's between 3 and 4 hours of watch time, which makes things look fantastic on the whole YouTube side of things. And then I'm also getting all of the, and then on Saturdays when I'm doing the giveaway, I'm getting like 19 to 30 hours of watch time, which is fantastic, on top of all the other stuff everyone's watching, to begin with, which is pretty cool. It is really, really cool. And actually, one of the cooler things is I've actually had people reach out to me and thank me for doing this, which is just out of this world awesome. I didn't think anyone would care that much to actually say anything or to do anything fun or fantastic. So I don't know if she's on or not, but I was actually just going to say, good morning, Laura, and happy birthday. I just got the Facebook notification. How are you doing today? And let me pop this over to the chat because people are talking. You definitely are fantastic, though, and very much appreciated. Peachy Keen Jelly Bean. Good. What is there something on my there? That was annoying. So happy birthday, and thank you. It feels good having someone say I'm appreciated. And good morning. Yeah. But I've actually had people like reaching out to me and stuff, which is really nice. Gotta have some more breakfast. My internet is slow, so you're buffering a lot. You're sorry. Why are you sorry? It's the morning, and it also might be something on my end. And good morning, Joe. How are we doing today? So one thing I made yesterday, and A bit of a story behind how I got this. I made a bone folder. And the point of it is to, it's a hunk of bone that's kind of shaped like a knife, a double-sided knife, double blades. And it comes down to what feels and looks like a very sharp edge, but then it's just rounded over just enough that it won't actually cut anything. The point of this is to help fold and make creases in paper and leather. But also, you have this end that looks kind of like a Skinner knife. And the point of this is to get in to like a pocket or something on leather, and you kind of force over the blade to the stitch line, and you're able to kind of open up the pocket a little bit more. Then with the point, you're able to kind of flip it around and get down in there and kind of work it out. Because whenever you make something like this, it's the pockets are too tight to be practical. So you take something like this guy, just get it in there, and you can see, kind of work it over to the edge, kind of work it up, kind of fold it over, so you can get right in that pocket right there. Work the edge, work that edge a little bit, kind of pull it up. You can see now it's slightly open, which means, for this one, you'll be able to get credit cards and stuff in there a lot easier. And I was doing it with just a pin and just kind of jamming the pin in there and just really working it, but having a bone, I get a much finer point than the edge of the pin. It's also slick. You can't see how shiny it is. It's getting a little blown out. Yeah. But I actually sanded this down to, I hit it with my micro mesh, which goes up to, I think the one I stopped at was 8,000 grit. I could have taken it up to 20,000 grit, but I didn't want it to be too smooth. I wanted to have some grip left on it so I could actually manipulate the thing. Otherwise, it'd just slip out of my hands. Bone is it's a strange material to work with. And Joe is great. I'm glad to hear you're great. For some reason, when things are held for review, they don't pop through the to the live chat screen. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Strange. A few seconds behind, I guess. Yeah, bone is a weird material to work with because, first off, when you're sanding it, it stinks. It stinks to high heavens. So I kind of feel bad for anyone if anyone went into the shop after I left yesterday, or if they end up going up there today, because that whole place is gonna stink like burning bone. Other than this, have you made anything else out of bone? Yeah, I've made a few knives out of bone. Sorry, brain's broken. That's fine. Handles out of bone. I've made needles out of bone, like period needle, sewing needles out of bone. I've made fish hooks out of bone. It's a very strange material to work with because you can get it up to. It kind of works like Delrin. Once you start sanding it, Delrin is a very highly machinable plastic, very nice, very smooth, pretty dense. But at the same time, as it works as like plastic, it also works like wood and glass because it can be shattered, be carved. Sometimes it splinters. Do I like it as a material? I love it as a material. Well, I like it and I don't like it, because while it has so many amazing properties, it is so noxious to work with it. Um, it wasn't as bad this time, but I remember the last time I actually started getting sick from the smell of the, just the bone being just, you know, ground up and aerated in the air, because it really does stink. Um, it kind of reminds me of like a budget dentist office, if that makes sense. Bone also gets, it's kind of an insulator, but so you don't realize how hot you're getting it. If you're grinding it like right down here, but and you flip it over, you can burn yourself pretty good. But also at the same time, you don't realize how hot you're getting it, so you could burn it, which would be awful. So those are the cons of working with bone. Also, the size limitations. You have size limitations and shape limitations, because unlike Delrin or plastic or wood, that you can get these big hunks from. You're limited to the thickness of the bone and how far you got a straight piece, and you kind of got to work with the twists and turns, and so it's a challenging material to work with, but at the same time you can get such great results. And it is useful for a lot of things that people don't realize. What would be a goal thing to make out of bone? Like my to-do list. Well, I don't know. It's not a material I work with very often, so it's not something that I plan projects around. I just needed a bone folder to help with the leather, so it kind of happened as a matter of happenstance. I didn't set out like, I need to make this out of bone. Let me go get some bone. So it just kind of happened that, as a matter of happenstance, that I needed a piece of bone for the leather work. But projects, I mean, I could do a few project videos on, making certain things out of bone. Maybe some needles. I could do needles. I could do a couple knives out of bone, some bone handles, toggles, maybe a couple beard beads out of bone, thicker bone. I need like cow bone for that. I could do some videos. I just wanted to get this done, so I had it. And it's not perfect. I could have done a little bit better job of it, but I just wanted to get something done while pieces were dry. I had some pieces drying, so. Can you bind multiple pieces of bone together to make a bigger, complete piece? I suppose you could. That's something that's never really occurred to me. It's always, one of those things that I just work with what I have, and go from there. It's a very interesting material to work with. And really all you need is like a file, a saw, and some sandpaper, and you can make some really gorgeous stuff out of bone. And then to get a high finish, you don't need anything that's you don't even need like micro mesh or anything. You could just get some spit and a rag and a little dirt. You just kind of affix this to something, spit on there, put a little dirt on there, and just take the rag and just start buffing it. And you can get the stuff up to a mirror shine. And if you look at it, like in antiquity, a lot of things that were made out of bone were so beautiful, and such a gorgeous finish on them that it doesn't look like it's something that medieval people were able to make. But it's so easy to get the stuff polished up beautifully. Just to work around size and dimension limitations. Well, I mean, you could bind it together, I guess. Glue it together or something. But at the same time, I think that would kind of ruin some of the aspects or qualities of it. Horn is another material that I don't work with very often. But the interesting thing with horn, since it's not calcium, it's actually what's this stuff? Keratin, same stuff your nails are made out of. You can actually manipulate the shape of it. And even up until the Civil War, where they were using powder kegs and stuff. Didn't you want to or make a drinking horn? I want to. I haven't yet. But you can see the horns, like the powder horns, they're octagonal, or at the very least ovular. And the point of that was so they sit against your hip and kit better. They're lower profile, harder to hit, easier to maintain. Pardon me. And what they would do there is actually boil them in oil, which would soften and loosen up the material and the fibers. And then they're able to pull it out, press it, and let it cool and cure. And the horn wouldn't change colors or anything, but it would, you would be able to change the shape and it would stay that shape, much like a plastic. And you even see some drinking horns that are, they're kind of like, if this is the horn part, they cut off most of this and left this long kind of tail. They put a plug in the thick end, and then that tail, they have it so it kind of curls around. And that's exactly what they did. They made the plug, and they made that tail. Then they boiled the thing. They boiled the horn, pulled it out, fit it onto the plug. Pardon me. And then, pulled that piece around, and it cured like that. So it kind of worked like a protoplastic before they came up with protoplastic. I think in the 30s, 20s, 30s, they started coming up with plastics, and the first one was milk plastic, which that is a weird material. You can make that at home too. It's almost the same thing as making your own cheese, except in this process you make it in a way that you take the curds and they harden, and then they're machinable like plastic. A little bit more brittle though, and they get an odd coloration and texture to them. A milk plastic do-it-yourself video. I don't know about that one. Maybe once I get a house, I'll do some milk plastic. Maybe. A lot of strange materials out there that are kind of wonky to work with. Not bad, just strange. So I am already working on the second generation of the beard mask. I need to find a better name for that. I definitely need a better name for that. Aren't those the most fun to play with though? Yeah, weird materials are very fun to play with when you have the time to play with them. And right now I don't have shop time, spare shop time. And when I'm home, which you need to kind of make this at home because you need to heat it and do things to it. And all my time is spent with with my wife and child. When I'm not playing online with my brother. So I don't have the luxury of time or anything in that manner. Which is kind of good, but also, Everyone Patreon $5, Nightsmith full time. Now see, if you can get some people on that bandwagon, we could definitely make this work. I have 400 subscribers. I think if I'm able to do that, I'd be able to I think if I'd be able to do that, I'd be able to go full time on this, like really go full time, which would be so cool. And then I also wouldn't have to worry about what if things don't sell, what if this, what if that. I could just create, and then from that it would give me so much more license and artistry, and I would have so much time, so much free time to be able to just do all of it. I'd have the free time to care for my kid, watch him while the wife goes to work, which is going to be a problem coming up soon. It would just make life so much easier, so much better, and so much more content for you guys. If I were able to get enough patrons that I could do this full time. That would also mean I could do a live stream every single day, every day, forever. Which, imagine that. I really want to see videos of you playing with all sorts of weird materials, the screw-ups and the successes. That would be amazingly fun and informative. That's what I want to do. And that's also why when I'm shooting a video, I try to, if I do screw up, I try to leave it in there to show what is possible, what the workarounds are. Like when I made the the stitching pony. It my first idea was to nail the leather down, and that's totally valid. If you drive a nail halfway in and then bend it over and kind of cinch it down, it will hold the leather. It is not a great solution, but it is a solution. And everyone has access to nails. My dumbass completely forgot I had an industrial stapler. I've used it to staple wood to wood. Like, duh. Of course it'll go through leather. So, but I left that in there because it is a way to do it, and might have been awkward, but it's part of the process. But yeah, and actually, now that you bring up the patrons, I'd really like to thank all of my patrons over at patreon.com. Let me see here. Who do I have in here? I have Brandon Hanna, awesome guy. He's been a member for a long time. Eileen Braden, Hannah Knox, Laura Blackwell, Luke Shefsky, Maria, Tammy Gillette, and Troy O'Grady. It is so amazing that these people, just, they don't ask for anything. They just want to support me and see it succeed and everything else. And I really, I can't thank them enough, and I'm so grateful for them. They help buy, they help pay rent for the shop. They help buy materials and new tools, and they help this whole channel, stay alive, stay active. And even though there's only 8 of them, they make a huge impact on my life. And clearly that's felt by you guys, because you're getting all of the you're reaping the benefit from it. Because we have faith in you and in Knightsmith. It is very much appreciated. And I am working hard and trying to do a lot of things behind the scenes, just so I can, get this up, get this running. And hopefully, by this time next year, I will be full-time. And Wade says hello this morning. Well, hello, Wade. Also say hello to Nessa for me, too, please. And if I can do this full-time, that means, by next year, that means I can do the, next year? I can join the 444 club. And really, dig into that. And I'd like to do, I don't know. I'd like to do quite a few videos. Out in the woods and stuff, for the Manliness Monday stuff, but also for, project videos. How to gather wild, materials in the wild, where to look for things. A lot of my stranger materials actually come from the river. I like working with clamshells and oyster shells. You find those in the river. So, how do you forage for them? Where do you look? And take that from getting it in the wild all the way into a finished product. But I get 2 weeks of vacation a year. So if I'm going to be doing that, I need, if I'm going to do the 444 club next year, it's going to take at least 2 solid weeks of just camping and kayaking to get the whole length of the Susquehanna River done. So that's going to be all of my vacation, and if I'm still working for somebody at that point. So there's a lot of strange things that I want to do, but that are in flux right now, just because of the, just the nature, the nature of life and stuff. But if I could do this full time, it'd be a really interesting experience. She's being a brat, antagonizing Wade and trying to eat his tail. Well, cats will do that. Their cat here, Tipsy, actually started beating up Loki. Now, Tipsy's this little itty bitty thing. I mean, she's a full grown cat, but she's like on the borderline anorexic. This is the lightest cat I've ever picked up. And their dog here, Loki, it's a husky, Shepherd Malamute mix. Big, massive dog. And this itty bitty thing that weighs like 3.5 pounds started trying to beat up the dog. Like, cat, you don't know what this dog can do to you. So, and that would be amazing. Show us the PA wilds. I would love to, because I love camping, I love fishing, I love backpacking, I love kayaking and canoeing. And I'd love to be able to go out and, you know, instead of just 1 or 2 trips a year, really get out there and do a lot of it, and really dig into things. But you know, I have a job that I have to do, so I don't have that flexibility yet. And then in a couple of years, Connor's going to be of age to start taking out camping and stuff in just a few short years. Which that's going to be something, guys. Yeah, and this is just Chubby Butt trying to bully Wade, and he just smacks her and walks away. Be the Pennsylvania Mountain Man, like that story you told us. Yeah, I would love to. Like, you have no idea how much I would love that. That would be so cool. But the thing is, I need time. I need resources. Wild child Connor learning to forage and fish. Yes. He will be a wild child. Right now, me and him mostly communicate in grunts and growls. And whistles. He really likes it when I do like bird calls and stuff for him, which is kind of no, he's 100% my kid. Right now, his favorite is the morning dove call that I can do, and I actually do have talked to morning doves and stuff, and I can talk to chickens and turkeys. But yeah, I would love to be able to really take some time and dig into, and then turn around and teach you guys everything I've learned about my entire life of kissing, camping, kayaking, ultralight, camping, and it's pretty much a culmination of my dad's entire life doing this and teaching himself, and then turning around and teaching me and doing this my entire life. I mean, bird calls are amazing. Do the dove call. Teaches the ways of kissing. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. No. But yeah, doing bird calls and stuff to him is really fun. He really enjoys it. And today I was starting to teach him how to roll his tongue, which it just blew his mind. Because, you know, if he's going to be my kid, he's going to have to learn how to speak a little bit of Galgi and some Spanish. And there's a lot of tongue rolling there. Which, funny. Just a lot. It's so much fun, and I can't wait to teach him how to camp and fish and stuff. I'm so excited. Dark side. The dark side of Nightsmith. Honestly, I can't wait until I start getting the the mugs and stuff. Speaking of dark side, the mugs and stuff from Eileen over at Poorest Rich Designs, because the website is almost ready to go. It's only gonna be another day or two, and I can start throwing that stuff up out there, as merch and stuff. And oh my God, guys, the previews that I'm getting from her are just out of this world awesome. super cool product. So cannot wait to share it with everyone. It's amazing the things that kids can learn and pick up. And so fun to watch the lights go on in their minds as you teach them things. It really is. And that's really why I loved being a camp counselor and a swim instructor. That was 10 years of my life that was just pure joy. Teaching these kids and watching them learn and figure out. And it was really cool. Especially the kid who was dead afraid, of diving or even of swimming. And you work with them for a couple hours every day, and at the end of the week, he just gets up and dives right in and does this thing, and he's so happy. The parents are happy, like, yes, I did my job. That's great. The kid's no longer afraid. He loves the water. Or the kid that was able to, they were afraid of doing the rock wall. They had massive fear of heights, and what if they couldn't do it, and what if they were stupid in front of their friends, and what if the people laughed, and blah 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 blah. And you teach them, you coax them through, you show them all the safety equipment, the knots, and you get them up to the top of the rock wall. You get them over, and they go down the zip line, they come back, and they just got this big smile on their face, and they love it. That is, it's great. That squeal. Yeah. And then by the end of it, them loving the water. Yeah, it's so great. And Joey is awake for now. Well, good morning for now, and welcome. And Laura, or climbing all over things after they learn how to do it safely. Yeah. And I mean, that's the thing, is I always pushed them to do it as safely as possible. But the thing that I always stressed was the enjoyment of it. Because if you enjoy something, and I was saying this the other day about tools, if you enjoy it, you're going to do it, more often. You're going to dig into it more. You're going to look at things from different angles and think about it longer. And so by making it enjoyable for them, I also increased the safety for them. Because once they wanted to do it, and once they wanted to learn, I could teach them everything safety, and they would sit there and pay attention, and not just attention, but rapt attention. And that's how you get, that's how I got them all to be as safe as possible, doing all these crazy things, and teaching these kids to shoot guns and bows and climb rock walls and zip line and do ropes courses. And a lot of that stuff is pretty dangerous for kids. But once we got them to look forward to doing it, having fun with it, they didn't want to lose those privileges, so they listened. And when they listened when they wanted to do them, we were able to teach them, and that's when things got real fun. Seeing them, excited and trying things, and soon Connor's gonna be that age. So I'm excited. There's so many things in the future that are coming that I'm so excited about. It's it took long enough, Joey. Pardon me, I don't mean to be yawning. Actually slept pretty good last night. Fell back asleep at 8:50, got home at 5. Ouch. That is a late night, Joey. That is a late night. How's he talking, etc. More words. We mostly communicate in grunts and growls. Just a but it's really cool because he's starting to get a little bit of self-determination. Like he wants to, like he's able to tell me, where he wants to go and what toys he wants to play with and stuff. So he's getting that. He's getting that, a mind of his own now, not just a personality, but like an actual mind where, okay, I don't want to just sit here and just, dawdle around. I want to go there. I want to do this. I want to grab that, which is kind of cool. Gorilla Dad, pretty much. Beat my chest a little bit. It's gonna be like that until he's 20, probably, but whatever. So he's not necessarily getting more words or better words, but he's able to, he's able to communicate now. He's able to make up his mind on certain things. And he is just on the cusp of crawling, which, oh my God, I am not ready for that, guys. I'm so not ready for him to crawl and do all that stuff. Just like, he's getting better at being his own person and communicating. Yes, Joey is. Joey is getting much better at communicating and being a person. I know you're talking about Connor, but I just had to throw a wee jab in there. Laugh, damn it. Yeah, he's going to be walking soon, too. I didn't wake up for the rest of this harassment. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Joey. You know you love it. You love us. Yeah, I'm not ready for him to start crawling and walking. I mean, I'm trying to teach him the best I can and giving him a lot of tummy time and stuff, but it just, oh my God. Because then he's going to be mobile. He's going to get into everything. I have a lot of stuff to get into, so. Joey's always a gorilla. No communication, only chest beating. Well, I mean, meh. No cookies for anyone. Wait a second, there was cookies on the line for this? Actually, I'm thinking about making cookies either tonight or tomorrow. I had I need to find the recipe again, but a couple weeks ago, or like 2 days before we left the apartment, I made these kick-ass cookies. So I'm going to have to try and make them again. Let's see, Laura. Then he's going to pull a me and run face first into every corner. Yeah. And, I mean, he's going to have your balance, but mixed klutziness. That's kind of what I'm going to be afraid of. Hopefully he gets more of my my moving graces. But we'll see. I was going to bake today. Were you, though? Were you? I don't know. I'm in some sort of mood today, guys. I don't know. A lot of interesting things today. So I went out yesterday after I was mostly done in the shop, trying to buy a sewing machine so I could start making these masks. And there are no sewing machines to be had. I called 5 or 6 places. went to a couple stores. There's just, I don't know, so graceful but no spatial awareness. It's on the docket. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Right after sleep, right? At least at first, then he'll learn. Happy birthday, Laura. It is birthday, Laura. It is Laura's birthday today, and really, Joanne's had at least one day before yesterday. Oh, they still had one. It was the top of the line, which I wouldn't mind top of the line. However, it was this huge, massive thing, and it was over $1,000 for the floor model. That was the only one left. So no, order one from Amazon. I'm gonna have to. I'm probably gonna do that today after the live stream, and then actually after the live stream I need to talk with you, Joe. And then after that I'm gonna order one, and until then I'm just gonna have to hand stitch. But it just blew my mind that there was no that there were none. Speaking of, I directed a coworker to you since it's awkward to see him with his damn beard speaking. Well, good. The masks are going to be on sale for $30 a piece, or $200 for 10. But I mean, of course, I'll do $100 for 5. Even if I'm not making as much money, I'd rather see people actually be protected and stuff, and have everything taken care of, and be safe. So those will be coming on the market very, very soon. It just little delay. But I should have expected there to be a delay, because why wouldn't there be? He seemed interested, said something about $30 being fair. Good. I mean, the thing is, I'm not trying to price gouge anyone or anything. It's just the masks I'm making, there's a lot more to them than just than just the regular mask, where you're just doing like a line here. I actually have to do, it's way more fabric first off, but then I have to do 1 seam, 2 seam, and then I have to, I'm going to actually change the pattern a little bit, so there's some pleats around the nose so it's not pulling on your nose. And then I'm actually doing a seam all the way around it, and then making the ties to go around the backs. So there's it's a lot more intensive than most people think. At least for the ones I'm going to be. So, $30 is, I think it's a fair price. But, I just need to. And he isn't related to you, despite the name, to your knowledge. Okay. Hey, I don't care if he's your brother or if he's you wearing a different hat. I'll sell anyone anything within reason. Like I sell a 5-year-old pipe. Come on. But so yeah, but it's going to take me a few extra days. I'm going to hand sew the first couple while I'm waiting for the sewing machine to come in. Still, it's strange, and it kind of ticks me off, because if you told me 2 months ago or even 2 weeks ago that I wouldn't be able to get a sewing machine, just It's one of those things that just blows your mind, you know? Now, I know I already showed this off, but I am still so happy with how this turned out. Yay, M. Everything is missing nowadays, end times. You know, it's not that it's missing. It's that everything's being bought at a faster rate than ever before and ever anticipated. There's no actual shortage of materials. It's just that the way our system is designed to work is just in time shipping, just in time manufacturing. So you don't have big stockpiles of things sitting around. And usually the markets take a good amount of time to fluctuate one way or the other. So that also means that factories are able to, tick up and tick down, and industry is able to keep pace very easily with things. With this, everyone's buying everything all at once. So there are no stockpiles of things. And as soon as two of them get in, everyone thinks there's a run on them. Which there kind of is. But they're not making more. There's a shortage. Oh my God, I need one. There's not a shortage. People are just buying them faster than anticipated. All of a sudden. That doesn't mean there's a shortage. That doesn't mean there's a supply problem. Everyone is doing everything all at once. The systems weren't designed for that because everyone's being a jackass. That's all that means. It's not the end of times. It's just a bunch of people are all doing the same four things. So, it's supposed to be, I was teasing, but BTW, guess what? What? I'll bite. My bread machine comes tomorrow. Ooh, cool. That's exciting. I actually made fresh bread 2 days ago for the in-laws, and they loved it. Might make some more today. And then tomorrow I'm thinking about making, tomorrow morning I'm going to make the breakfast sandwiches. Nintendo Switches are returning to the shelves. Nature's healing. It's a fun toy. That's good. So, like, homemade bread for the group, Laura? That would be interesting. I almost want to have like a once all this lockdown stuff is lifted and stuff, almost have a coffee with night like meet up, like a real coffee with night. Like we all decide, all right, yeah, we're gonna go to like Starbucks or Panera or Dunkin' Donuts or something, and just hang out for 2 hours, 3 hours. I think that might be cool. That'd be a good way to bring a little closure to this once life goes back to normal. But everyone gets together and does a coffee date. Yeah, wouldn't that be so cool? Like just on a Saturday or something. The 10 of us that usually do this all just kind of get together. I think that would be really fun and really cool and really interesting. You don't have to have coffee, Joey. You could just come to hang out, show your face, and say hello. But the way things are looking, that's going to be 2-3 months down the road. But yeah, it'll be fun. All right, guys. Well, that's my hour. Happy Tuesday. I hope everyone has a fantastic day. He doesn't know how to social. I know. I hope you guys all have a fantastic day. I have a call with Joe. If you want to give me about 5 minutes after we're done here, run up, say hi to the kid, go to the bathroom, grab some more coffee. I'll be on the line with you about 5 minutes. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. thanks again to all of my awesome patrons. And yeah, I hope you have a fantastic day, because it's looking like it's going to be a pretty good one today. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time. Y'all take care.